Hi, my name's Cameron Carlson with AnimeOnLocation.tv. I'm here at Matsuricon 2018 with my good pal, Mr. Tony Oliver. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, enjoying myself.
We're having fun together, and again, Matsuricon is one of the cons that we really like to hang out with all our voice actor friends in one spot. What does that mean for you?
Well, it means I get to see you guys every time I'm here, so that's fun. No, it's great because that's what for us it's a thing too. Some of us go to certain cons, multiple times, and it's a chance for us to get together with the other voice actors in the country that we don't necessarily get to work with. We get to meet the fans, the people that really like what we do, and interact and have fun and answer questions and talk about this crazy stuff that we all love and we all get to do. And so it's important to me and to most of us that we keep doing this and we enjoy it. Plus, a lot of us are theater actors, and this is the only chance we get to take a bow.
Especially if you want to go back on stage and you got to. So not only have you been doing anime conventions, but you've been doing conventions for many, many years. And what would you say is one good story you'd like to share from doing conventions that would just really brighten the mood for just a lot of fun?
Well, most of the funny stuff happens backstage, of course, but out of view. So I was at Non-Descon, which is a convention in Denver, Colorado, and it was closing ceremony. And on Descon, at closing ceremonies, they have all of the voice actors come down, and they ask us to talk for a minute or so about our experience for the weekend and say our goodbyes. And it's a major part of their closing ceremonies. And so they gather us all together and take us all to the thing at once. So they gather us all together and they put us in the freight elevator, and we go maybe 3 feet, and we stop, and we're stuck. For 45 minutes, we were stuck in there. And what's funny is that, and in there was myself, Patrick Seitz, Jamie Markey, Chris Kaysen, and Jenny McManus, a couple other people. And Jamie immediately goes, "I'm claustrophobic. I'm going to disappear into my phone." And she starts to, And so all of us go, okay, so we're all on our phone taking pictures. And Patrick the night before had been at some bizarre Mexican restaurant that had been made fun of by South Park. I shan't mention it, but you know which one I'm talking about. We went. Oh my. That's another funny story. But he bought this big sombrero, and he had it in the. So we all blame the sombrero.
He's also like 6'5".
Oh yeah, he's huge. He's huge. So we're in there 40. It's getting a little warm, and we're on the phone, and they're holding up closing ceremonies now because now we're 40 minutes late to that. Yeah. And Jamie is starting to look. It's a little, and finally the door opens, and in pops the head of a very, very good-looking fireman. He goes, "Is everybody okay in there?" She goes, "Yes, yes." "Oh, hi." They had their picture taken together afterwards, and we finally all. So that was the strangest excuse for being late to a closing ceremonies I've ever had. So.
I say that's a really fun story. So, you have over 20 top. You are on the 20 top 20 anime voice actors list of IMDb. What does that mean for you going forward in the community? I mean, I know you from Bang Shimigami in. Blaze Blue, and so many other wonderful roles, Gurren Lagann. You're up there as like the top 20 voice actors on IMDb. What does that mean for you?
Well, it was a great honor, first of all. I had no idea. Somebody actually emailed me and said, "Did you know that you're on this list?" I have no idea that was happening. When you look at the people that populate that list, it's humbling. I'm grateful that I was put on that list. I've always thought of myself as a good actor, a solid, dependable actor, but not somebody worthy of that kind of a title. So I was humbled by it, especially with the other people that were on that list, where I'm going, man, these are people that I'm fans of. So yeah, it's great.
Alrighty, and a lot of people know that you used to do Robotech, and what would you say is one of the biggest changes you've seen in the community going forward of the Robotech community?
Well, the anime community in general has changed tremendously. I mean, back when I first started, it was really the stereotype. It was that stereotype, the socially awkward person in the basement of, that's who was really watching this stuff and who was coming to the Robotech conventions back then. But the Robotech conventions back then were attached to the Star Trek conventions, so this was cool for me because I'm a Trekker from way back. So my first convention, I sit down, I go to the autograph table, they sit me next to Scotty. Oh yeah, James Doohan, yeah, and I'm like losing my mind. I'm trying not to fanboy out. Well, I'm being a professional actor signing stuff, and like, oh my God, it's Scotty, it was that sort of thing. but back then that's what it was. Now the community is everybody. It is totally inclusive of people from every race, and it was pretty exclusively white back then too. And now it's every color and every person, and men, women, gay, straight, trans, whatever. Everybody's welcome. And I love that about this. And so that's the big change. On the anime side, on what we do, it's all been technology. Going from tape to digital made it possible, made it inexpensive enough to do it.
And on top of that, you can get somebody from Europe to do stuff over here in the States, or get somebody from
to
LA.
We don't do that much because it's expensive and it's technologically difficult. But more than that, we can do an episode in 2 days when it used to take 5 or 6, and so that's why they don't cost $100 anymore. Right. Per episode, and yeah, exactly. So it's that's been the big change, the combination of the mainstreaming because of the technology and the rise of the mainstreaming on the side of the community. So now it's inclusive and not really an exclusive weird little thing off in the corner like it used to be.
Right. Because again, having streaming has definitely changed the industry 100%. When you first started working on the Fate series, a lot of different titles and different things. Did you ever imagine that it would get this popular? Because I have never seen anything past the original Fate Stay Night by Bandai, like in the early 2000s. Yeah, I actually have them all individual discs too. So what would you say, like, now that it's just gotten this weird rise in popularity all over again? You've been the director on God knows how many titles of it. So what's it been for you to work on it over these many, many years and see its popularity keep going and being so much fun to work on?
Well, when I started, I actually just acted on the free original version. I was Lancer, and I was okay. I mean, I thought it was okay. I didn't like my character very much. He was kind of a jerk. Yeah. But I thought it was okay, and it was an interesting show.
It was.
When Fate Zero came around and they handed it to me, and I really got in the weeds with it and kind of got into the whole underlying story, it's different. It's very different from what originally it was, and it became very cinematic. Right away, I knew that was different, and something that really appeals to me. And so we took it seriously, and we took that cinematic aspect very seriously, and the stories have continued to be that way. What happened is I became invested in the story. For me, it's been a fan dream come true because I have become a fan of it. I get to manipulate it. I get to play with it. I get to have my hands in it, and all the time being very careful to take care with it because it's extraordinarily well written in Japanese. At least Fate Zero, Unlimited Blade Works, and those were, has been unbelievably good. So it's meant a lot, and it's meant a lot to me that the folks at Aniplex keep coming back, and because this is an important show to them, and particularly to Hiro Sakamoto, who's the producer over at Aniplex, and this is a heart project for her. So for her to trust me with it, I find I'm really honored by that because that's not a trust that they give easily necessarily. And the reaction from the fan base has been incredible. They all like what I like about it, which is it's smart and it's interesting and it's layered and it's an onion that you peel and as a director and as an actor, that's my favorite thing to do is to peel away at that onion until you get to that core, because when you get to that core, it's powerful and it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I at least have seen different clips, and I watched about 5 episodes of Zero. So, and I don't know why I stopped. So that's shame on me. I need to go.
The first 5 are kind of talky.
Yeah.
Stick with it.
No, I need to pick it up in English is what I'm saying, because I like you guys. I do like the Japanese, but I really, because I talked to you on a one-on-one, I really love listening to you guys too. So, when coming up with the challenges on it, what travel through time or bounce through series and games, how do you manage all that in your head, especially when you're trying to be like, there's only 4 characters that really move through the whole thing, where everybody else just comes in and out, or they're differently cast of, this character is this monarch versus that monarch, or this folk tale, and there's only like 4 characters that are like deep rounded and they never change. So what's it like for you to try to like keep it all in your head?
I wish they didn't change. They actually do change quite a bit, but there's changes in the kind of, they're subtle, but they're there. I'm not alone. I have help. Okay, I have when Aniplex is with us, I have Hiroe with me the whole time, and she's totally versed in the show. When I'm doing the Netflix versions of it, I do a lot of research for when we did the Grand Order film, I realized I was way behind the curve on a lot of the heroic spirits because I'd never really played the games.
Right.
So immediately, I downloaded the game and started playing it, so that I could learn the characters and all the 350 heroic spirits I didn't know they were. Yeah, and so that's helped now, because now that I'm familiar with those, coming into like Fate Extra, which I'm directing right now. Well, now I'm familiar with those characters because I've seen them in the game and they're well described there. So what I've done is kind of dove into it more like a fan, in order to kind of stay with it. And the rest of it is, like before I did Unlimited Blade Works, I went back and watched the last 4 episodes of Fate Zero. Before I did Apocrypha, I watched the Grand Order, because they're tied together. So it's by just kind of going back and remembering where we came from, that kind of takes you where you're going next.
And now you obviously just gush now so much about Fate. What's it been like to be on this journey that it's taking you on? You know, what does it feel like to be the guy that gets to control the reins and be like, you know, this is where we're going to go, but at the same time the story's like, nope, I'm going to take you this direction. So what's it been like for you, just as a fan, to really dig into it as you've discussed?
Well, unlike most fans, I actually get a chance to ask questions. So when I can turn around and go, okay, can you clarify this story point for me? So that's part of it. It's been a great journey. I've fallen in love with the story. So it's, to me, it's kind of waiting to see what's next. I can't wait to get the next set of scripts so I can read it and find out what's going to happen next, because I get to find out first. I learned before all the actors even know.
Well, you are the director. Yeah,
so I get to find out what's going on first, and then I can try to craft it the way they intended it, which is my intention. So it's been interesting. It's been frustrating sometimes, because sometimes I don't understand the choices that are made. Extra has been kind of boggling my mind, because it changes such. The direction has changed so significantly from Apocrypha. So it's sometimes it's just a matter of trying to find out, okay, where are they trying to take this, so that I can guide the actor and it makes some sense. Then again, you know, they sometimes in some of them, like in Extra, there's a lot of stuff that's just for fun. Like the Nero spends the entire first episode naked. There's no real reason for it, but it's kind of fun that she does. I mean, there's nothing sexual about it, but for some reason, it's kind of interesting. Yeah. So there's a lot of that stuff that goes on. So some of it is just trying to understand, is it just for fun, or is there a reason for it? Is there a deeper reason for it? And therein lies the challenge.
Right. Alrighty, now again, we love talking to you, and we know that there's the pesky NDA that you cannot break, but what shows are you currently working on that you would love fans to see that are coming up very shortly that you're allowed to talk about?
The stuff that I'm allowed to talk about is all just coming out right now. Okay. So that would be Fate Extra, which the second volume is about to drop on. We're about to start on the 3rd volume, I think. Anyway, a volume of it just dropped on Netflix a couple of weeks ago. They have the Treehouse Detectives, which is not an anime. It's an original American cartoon that I direct, is now on Netflix as well. That's a preschool show. It's wonderful. It's great cast, but there's a couple of anime voice actors in it, like Ryan Bartley and those guys. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm working on that. Unbreakable. The new one.
Yeah, the new one.
It's been a long. It's
JoJo.
It's and I'm 2 days into a con. Hunter x Hunter. We're wrapping that up here pretty soon. We're still recording that, yeah. And I can talk about that. And the Fate Extra I mentioned, right? JoJo, Hunter. There's another show that I'm doing. It's a very high profile show. I'll be able to announce it in a few weeks. Everyone will know it's in the universe of the Pokemons and the Inuashas. It's that kind of a young kids show, and I'll be directing that, and we'll be announcing that in a month or so. So that's what's going on there, and I'm developing a cartoon based on a comic book called New Gen. Go read the comic book, and it's not my comic book; somebody else does it, and that's pretty much it at the moment that I can talk about. Yeah. That's enough, actually. Yeah,
we obviously know you're a very, very busy person. Where can we keep up with you when you want to make these announcements? And what message would you like to give out to the fans that have been keeping up with you and just giving you a lot of positive support over the many years of your awesome voice acting and directing?
Well, right now I haven't done any social media in quite a while. I kind of got fed up with Facebook after the elections, and so I kind of stopped. So I haven't really announced much of anything. But if you look at Facebook, at Tony Oliver voice actor. My Tony Oliver voice actor Facebook page. I think that's what it is. Thank you. The one that's right there. Okay. You can. I'll sometimes announce stuff on there. I'm going to start posting on Instagram pretty soon. I'm actually going to have somebody help me out with that since I'm terrible at it. And then once I'll announce that once I have that. But right now, just kind of keep your ears open online. You'll hear it on Facebook and at the various companies as they announce stuff.
And what message would you like to give your fans?
A message to the fans is thank you. Thank you for watching, for supporting us, for allowing us the privilege of entertaining you, and allowing us the privilege of being able to do what we do and what we love to do in order for you to watch and listen to stuff that you like to watch and listen to. So thank you, because we don't exist without you.
Again, Tony, my friend, it's always a pleasure to see you every single year that you come out to Matsuricon. Thank you again, my friend.
Thanks
Thank you. Yep.